Hello everybody and welcome to Wise Exotics. I'm your host Trevor and today we'll be going over video log 2024 February end March start. Now, just some words of warning, we've had some fun rainstorms and whatnot, and I just got an alert that apparently we're going to have ice storm come down to California. That's a rarity. I haven't seen one of those in a long while. But apparently even blizzard-like conditions in Northern California. Whew. Thankfully, I'm kind of in the middle, so I don't have to worry too much, hopefully. But it just means probably a lot of rain and maybe some hail and some slush. So, just a word of warning to those of you in California if you haven't gotten it uh, and whatnot. So, no bad news. All the plants are doing well. If you're new to my channel, I do these video logs to talk about the good and the bad. So far, only good this past February. A lot of good things going on. I did get a replacement wall heater. There's Polo. There's Summer, as some of you know. The new replacement baseboard heater is in. This is an electric one. It's a 1500 watts, so 500 watts stronger than the old one. Anyway, the plants are all doing pretty well. I did update the Instagram sales sheet for those of you who are looking to buy. I've had a few sales, made a little bit of room. Still doing my spring cleaning, so plenty of plants are up there, including some Veitchii, Cingulonyx diabolica, some other seed-grown plants are there. So the list is there for those of you in USA that are curious and want to help me make some space and or grab some plants at a decent price. So, anywho, let's see. Of the new plants I got an Adriani. I was really looking forward to that one. It did have a basil, so I had to chuckle a little, knowing I was teased a bit for having really good basiling luck. So Adriani is a slightly unknown species. They were thought to originally be a variant form of Spatulata. It was initially thought to be a more redder form, but when they started maturing and growing, it didn't look exactly like it. It kind of looked like a reddish kind of variant between Bongso and Naga and maybe Rigidifolium, kind of all mixed into one, but really red. So they're very vigorous. They're, as I said, bright red, very large pitcher to leaf ratio, so I'm excited to see that. I had purchased one off of eBay from Hobogato, aka same person who gave me my Peter D'Amato Loeae X Ventricosa, aka Briggsiana, right there. And a comparison to it is my Succubus one, which is neat, which is just Loeae X Ventricosa Dark, if I recall correctly. Now, that being said, Adriani is really interesting. This one is a male, so I'm hoping one day to cross this on my Diabolica and get a really red, toothy, large pitcher to leaf ratioed plant. Kind of, hopefully, similar to like Hambata X Spatulata, but kind of reddish orange, dark things, and maybe some stringy leaves, maybe wavy leaves. Not quite sure, but I wanted to kind of bring that vigorous and color in, keep to the reddish theme. So that's my hope, future Trevor plans. Anyway, let's see. I moved Cephalotus. I did get another variegated Nepenthes. Let's see. Quite a few little Veitchii. I'm trying to think of anything else that occurred. I did get a scan yesterday. So there's that. For those of you who are new or joining, I had this whole fun adventure of getting cancer last year. I had a big stomach lymphoma, about 14 centimeters, the major part, and then little bits into my other lower intestine. So lots of chemo, and that got nuked. So I have to get scans every so many months now to make sure it's not coming back. On the hindsight, kind of a good thing. It seems that this type of cancer usually is 90%. Once you're cured, it's not going to come back, but they still scan you just to make sure nothing's there, nothing's untowardly occurring. Anyway, let's see, try to think. Cherry Bomb's doing good, which is that big red plant, spider-like plant with wavy leaves right there. That is actually extremely red variegated, and is an extreme case of it. Its sibling is on the other side. Let's see. The Red Leaf Exotics 42 had its pitcher. Superglue's producing. Queen Malini's producing. Pretty much all of the plants are producing pitchers right now, and I'm really excited. Diabolical is actually holding 3 and maybe 4 right now on actually really impressed. They're all really just starting to come into their own right now. Uh, my Spectabilis X ventricosa, which is over here, the last plant on the edge here, this little node. I had two of these. I lost one of them. I think I lost one, or it's on the lower tray. I could be wrong. I do have quite a few plants, so I do kind of get them mixed up and or lose them within the mass. Thus, again, spring cleaning, trying to sell a few. Keep myself at least remembering what I have. Now, that being said, really happy that a bunch of them are developing pictures. Diotis had quite a few little basils at the bottom. I was surprised. Not this one, but the one next to it. So this is my larger Diotis, but next to it in the middle here is my littler Diotis, but it has like 2 to 3 basils, so quite interesting to see that one. Diotis is highly underrated. It's toothy like Hamada in red with kind of like a yellow sunset in the middle of the teeth. It's actually quite pretty. So they all have recently done Edwardsiana X Diotis and a few others, so that'll be nice to see it develop. Let me think if there's anything else. So here's the Adriani. As you can see, there's the basil. This is a confirmed male. Let's see, 2KXM or KX Candy Stripe X candies from Nepenthes Odyssey. Samantha should have 1 or 2 of these still if anybody is interested. This type, these are the red ones she had isolated out, so that's nice to see. And by red, you look at the picture, it's red, it's quite apparent. Got this one from her also. This thing is just stunning. I can't wait to see it develop. This is BE4021 Golden Barrio Grex. And if you're wondering, yes, I did have the sibling of it. I got from Pearl River. And I think we're in a treat here. If you look in the back, I just noticed that. That is actually my VGI K. Actually has a picture. Just popped. It was closed this morning. Another nice one I just saw because I'm in here. Predatory Plants, Valiant Beast. I have 3 of these. One of them is actually already reserved, as is Palavenensis cutting. I should stick that, right? Let's see. So this one's really good. I'm calling this one Golden Odyssey. Now, if you guys remember, I had a VGIB I got from Tyler, which is right up here. My K1XM2 is in there. It's developing some other pictures around. So it has a kind of a squished picture down here. I'm not too sure how that one's going to develop. Let's see. The VGIB I got from Tyler had kind of a grow up picture. Look at that thing. Beautiful stripes, flare with little points, just like Candy Dreams. I was really impressed, so was Tyler, that this one apparently hadn't done anything in his care. It just kind of made normal looking pictures, very faint stripes, and then I get it and it started doing so. He was really impressed that it popped such a nice picture. It's the first time this one's actually shown the flare points. Typically it's had kind of like an oval shaped peristome. Never really did the flare effect. So all of a sudden it's getting stripes and flares, so that's nice to see. Its sibling is also down here. Got a bit of a leaf jump also. And as you can see, the VGIB had just like a little leaf. Now this is its new leaf with me. It had a huge pitch jump. It is very happy here. Already got a developing node. Now I do have variegated white Gracilis here. This is Gracilis Black. I believe this one is seed grown. I got this one from Hawaii. One of the Nepenthes growers in Hawaii's greenhouse caught on fire, so he had to flash sale a bunch of plants because he couldn't keep them all. So I picked up that one from him. This one isn't really that impressive. As you can see, it only ever had the white stripe down the middle. Kind of comes off the edge like someone took a single paintbrush and just kind of went down the center. Nothing too crazy with that, but I do have now the tricolor Gracilis one, which is extremely variegated. The whole leaf looks almost white with zigzaggy triangles. That I got from Nepenthes Odyssey, so if you're looking where to get it, Samantha does have some. Now, if you look down here, there is a picture hiding among the leaves in the back there. That is actually from My Pale Car 0066 from Carnivora. That was the one that was always making yellow pictures and just having yellow leaves. So it finally produced a nice looking leaf and has a kind of reddish picture with stripes. So that was a fun surprise when I was digging down here looking. The Vicii had a bit of a picture reduction. So Cherry Bomb here is actually Viking globosa var mirabilis, whichever. Technically that one actually hasn't been named officially, so it was given the variation name by the people in Taiwan, to my understanding. It has a bunch of like offhand names, and technically all are correct because it is not officially named yet. So I'm just gonna go with Viking or globosa or globasa, whichever seems right. But Viking is more presently known within the United States, to my understanding. Anyway, so this is Viking X Ampullaria Black Miracle F2. This is number 1 of 3. Number 2 in my collection is right here. As you can see, it gets more of the black speckling of Black Miracle. It did have a very nice chocolatey with white stripe picture come in. So that's nice. As you opposed to Cherry Bomb's cute little, well, Cherry Bomb shaped pictures. That's its name. The two from Josh are pretty much in versions of each other now. So this one's got pale green leaves with waves. This has red variegated, kind of like Picasso leaves. The older sibling has white pictures with red stripes and red speckling. The red variegated one is red pictures with white stripes, so and kind of a cream center. So they're exact opposites. I'm gonna call them J1 and J2 now, just so I don't get them mixed up. J1 will be the white one, J2 will be the red one, just for my own future self. Super glue is doing fine, the one I crafted super glue. The Red Leaf Exotics number 42 is doing quite well. Nice picture shape. This one actually does get variegation on the back here. On this leaf, little white speckling, little streak. On 2 of its leaves now it's had that. So it's been keeping. Newest leaf doesn't have it, but variegation is a fun little, it can pop up and reoccur due to stress, various incidents. I'm probably going to do a little information video giving some general info on those. Kind of talk about the types. Clippiata is doing well. Another one that gets some fun dark striations through the leaves. That's not typical of its species. I do love Clippiata's red stem. I quite find that interesting with the green. Kind of gives you a Christmas vibe, red, green. Anyway, Clippiata is doing quite fine. This is a seed-grown specimen. Hopefully in the future I can find somebody who has the opposite gender and we can make some horticulture ones and get that species a little more numbers up, at least in the horticultural botanical trade. But yeah, all these are doing quite well. I'm quite excited to see quite a few of these. Picture Sibulinensis, which is a nice tubby squat plant, finally has one. Excited to see that go. Let's see. Queen Malini finally has a picture kind of developing there. So that is Rob X. I can't remember. But it's called Queen Malani, Queen Malini. One or two. It's a Carnivora one, but I believe it. I know it's Robicanlia X Ventricosa. That's what it is. Robicanlia X Ventricosa. Yes, the hardness of Ventricosa. Now I'm gonna come over here. And speaking of Ventricosa, mine's doing quite exceptional. If you've seen, I have this red. Trying to get over here. Red one from Greenwood Exotics. It just threw this huge picture. Look at this thing. Beautiful flare. I mean, it's the size of an avocado. It's very impressive. So glad to see this one kind of growing up pretty quickly. A bunch of the plants are doing quite well up here. Most of these are Ristocrosses, except for that one. That is Ventricosa S. alata. Now, coming down here to the tank setup. Let's look at the tank. So, nothing crazy. A lot of plants are doing quite well. This one just popped yesterday. This is one I got from Mike's Little Oasis. I already got a nice stripe and kind of like a red gradient. That one's gonna be pretty. I hope it keeps up a Cherry Bomb sibling with the red speckles and stripes. Let's see. A couple of these are doing really well. Just trying to move them around a bit. Putka. I know some people are always asking about Putka. It's only pushing out a leaf. It is a slow to grow one. Actually, it does have another one that's kind of deforming into here. I'm going to try to save it. There we go. So it is pushing out a new picture right there. Probably going to be a weird one just because it tucked itself under itself for some reason. I don't know. This one is crazy. Stripe went away on this one. So as you can see, this picture has stripes. This one doesn't. But this one kind of has like an intergradient of red. Like a red ring. If I can lift it up. Yeah, you can see it. The nice red ring in there. Maybe kind of like a faint, yeah, 2 faint stripes on the edge, but they only go halfway through. Anywho, Naga's doing Naga things. It's already got another picture developing down here. Naga needs to stay up here. Naga keeps dragging itself down, which is driving me nuts. Literally dragging itself down. Our unknown plant picture is still developing, very slow to grow. The Northiana's quite well. Here we go, the variegated tricolor. Very nice. It is almost the whole leaf turns white to my understanding. Now variegation, because it's a mutation, usually the whiting of this type, you can see an older leaf, usually will be due to the white cell, which has less pigmentation, growing just as fast as the green pigmented cells. Usually plants will lose pigmentation due to stress, cold, etc. Stressor facts can either make it appear or disappear. So keep that in mind if you have one that does it. Some will have them appear due to stress. It just shows the lower pigmentation. The 3 bongsos, 3, 1, and 2 are all doing well. No problems there. The one I got from Josh seems to be doing its own thing. It's actually got a nice picture hiding down there. Cute little Flesiana rocket ships. I do like this one. It seems to want to be tucking its leaves down here. I'm going to try to adjust that away from that. There we go. Makes me feel a little better. A couple of these are doing quite well. No problems. The Rajas. So the Raja picture popped on this one almost like a week after I'd showed it. This thing grows too quickly to be a Raja. I know it's a pure Raja, it just amazes me. I put some moss in here. I'm hoping the moss will spread. Doing quite well. Next to it down here is Raja X Burb, or Alsupinitrinus. I hope I said that right. I'm probably not saying it right, but whatever. The BE Raja doing quite well. Usually it's just a star pattern. Let's see, bicollateral. Now here's something that was weird. It started to mold from over nectar dripping. I was like, I've never seen a Nepenthes picture drip nectar on itself so much it left like a mold pooling on the lip. So I might be trimming that off. Which is sad because that's the first kind of larger picture from that one. But another one's developing down there. The Hamadas, as we get into the more toothy side, AW1, AW4, and the Tempest are all doing quite well, as you can see. My little Macrophylla, it's still going. Speed of a glacier forming, but it's still going. As opposed to the Clone T, which is already throwing leaf after leaf out. Clone T is just as slow, in my opinion. But it's at least noticeably growing. Sometimes I have to come in here with a magnifying glass to just look, and it's like, did you grow a new leaf? They are getting little leaf jumps, so here's hoping. Lemon cherry is right here. I call it lemon cherry. Yeah, Paula likes lemon cherry now. Let's see. That's because Paula gets to look at this new picture. Now, I have these little postcards I get from everybody who's sent me things. So this one was actually blocking this, so I didn't see, and I lifted it up, and that was under there. Paula went, woohoo! It's like, well, I guess there's that. Little Veitchii, Barioexos Mountain. The complex one I got from Mike, which is Big Mama Pincanacane 13 clone, Azukin X Barrio. And this is a new one I got from Nepenthes Odyssey. This is Pink X Barrio number 2. Not really sure what that'll look like, actually. Oh yes, Velosa. I had somebody was posting, I had to build this hyper end chamber to grow this plant, and I'm like, oh, I threw it in a tank. I feel kind of lazy when all these people are doing really high end cooling with like air conditioned systems or water vaporing and going in. Here I have just plants in a tank, and here's a Velosa, Macrophilia, Edwardsiana, Amata, Robs, you name it, Attenborough guy, Amphiphilarium diabolica. Yeah, I'm not. People are always asking me if I'm doing anything special. Literally, what you see is what it is. Is just a tank with a plastic lid. I have a tray in here. Trays are filled with water, and the plants sit on it. And the temps here are. I know somebody's going to ask me. Someone always asks me. The temps are 60 to 76 typically, but during the hotter months, it can be anywhere from 65 at night up to like 86, maybe even 90, depending on how hot the days are. So I'll get that out of the way. I know someone will ask me. So this is Raja X Rob. What an interesting hybrid. Look how it's kind of got a perfect, almost Raja look to it. To deform the lid. The leaves feel like the Rabacantlii leaves, but they look more like the Raja. So in my opinion, it's a great hybrid. And someone actually pointed out to me, I do have 2 Rajas and 2 Robs, so there is a likelihood I could actually try to make that cross myself someday. So another possible little check mark. Actually, my hope is to breed these 2 Rajas, because from what I was reading, the BE one here, typically this one that has higher basiling has been seen to be a female. So I'm hoping this one will be a male, this one can be a female, and we can have hybrids. Yay! But as I said, Diabolica, quite a few pictures active, or at least 3 right now, and she's forming one on the back. This is my female. I actually got a bunch of compliments because this is the first. I remember how often it had some weird leaves when I first got it, but ever since I've gotten it, those weird leaves slowly blended away, and I got nice, healthy looking leaves. So I had a lot of compliments how well I'm taking care of my Diabolica, and as it's my favorite, I'm very happy to accept those. Edwardsiana, as you can see, the older picture that I fed the thing, Osmocote has gone away. New picture right there. The oldest picture is still there, so this thing holds its pictures for quite a while if I don't feed it. Yeah, this is a seed-grown one. Actually, Hobogato, aka Ace, has its sibling, and I know like 3 or 4 other people who have this one's siblings. So they're really nice to compare to. So far, this one's the fastest growing that I can tell of its siblings. Even among other seed-grown Edwardsiana, this one is pretty unique in how fast it grows. It's usually about 1.5 to 2.5 times faster in growth rate. It always has about 5 leaves now. It finally lost one of its other leaves, the original leaf that it came with. So, I mean, it's doing very well. I'm very impressed with it. I always heard nightmare stories of how sensitive and how hard they are to grow. I've literally dropped this one, and it did not care. So I am just over the moon how impressed I am with this. Oh, the Leonardo, I almost forgot about this one. Doing quite well. Through like 3 leaves already, 2 pitchers, and another pitcher is developing over there. And then it's got a new growth here. It's already doing quite well. So I'm excited. Nepularum, as you can see, nice squat little pitcher when you compare it to, say, Rob's. My Rob, which is this long pitcher underneath my lowy eye. Quite tall, very stout, big, wide, shiny green leaves that are very rubbery, to a fuzzy green leaf that's kind of more narrow on the wing shape. Darker, too. Anyway, Velosa Hamada. Starting to make a nice picture right there. I hope it's a little larger. These look like some leaf jumps, so that'll be nice to see. Anywho, so that's the tank setup as a whole. Plants are doing well. Kind of a quick wrap up. A lot of pictures developing. A couple new plants. New plants are added to the sales sheet on Instagram. Wise Exotic. I didn't make a TikTok. TikTok is weird. I don't understand it. It's just chaos. That's all I can assume is it's just pure chaos. Anywho, that's it. I hope everybody does well. We're going into March. My birthday is on March 16th, so if I don't make any videos around that time, that's why. I might even throw some gift plants in if any plants are bought through that time. Anywho, Trevor out. Hope everybody has a great March, and see you on the next video.